Scared yet?
Let's do this! Time to go all out. I should make an effort.
Are you prepared to magical powers rising?
Dance to the death! Going all out!
No mercy!
This is going to hurt.
Iron Fist! Your punishment!
Die!
Too bad.
Easy!
Wanna be a zombie too?
Hey guys, Wolf Atlas here, and I wanted to try some more commentary for content for War of the Visions, and I want to try to do some more arena showcase for this game. However, I want to take it in a different direction because a lot of content creators will show off more of the better units, the units that are worth taking to 120, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I want to try to see if I could showcase some of the MR or lower rarity units, because we do have content that benefits these units or can utilize these units in a way to make them not totally useless. So if you're the type of person who's ever interested in running one of these units but wasn't too sure, I'm hoping that the videos I do can help guide the way. I will try to do my best to be as objective as possible, and yeah, I will give my honest opinion on the MR lower rate units because I am doing MR lower rate units for my account because I just have fun with them. In any case, we're gonna today's video is all about Etre. So without further ado, let's begin. Alright, so Etre here, she's a free handout unit that has an event that reoccurs pretty often. I wanted to start with Etre first because during this week and I believe next week of War Division's content, she is given out for players, whether you're old or new. She's free to get. All you have to do is just complete her quest. I believe this is probably her 5th time around. And this will be the 2nd time around. First and 2nd time around, she'll have her EX stuff to work with. Etre is a main monk. By taking her to 120, you have access to some pretty interesting moves. Like her 120 skill move is a fist type attack that has a chance of conflicting confusion and berserk. If you upgrade her to 120, she'll gain more slash and pierce resistance on top of her HP, and she'll gain an enhancement for her doom attack. Now, her as a unit she's all over the place. In my honest opinion, she's better as a PvE unit than a PvP unit. You're gonna see in some of the matches I make her look good, but I've done a lot of matches utilizing her, and I'll say right off the bat that she's a great PvE unit in manual play, and she could suffice in auto as well. But I feel that in her PvP status, there's other units you can use, and the reason for that is because of her two sub jobs, cleric and knight. So cleric, she has access to, let's see. Oh, as a cleric, that's not cleric. That is knight. So as a cleric, she has access to moves like light veil and dark veil, which I think are great. And she also has access to erase and pronged staff, which pronged staff I think is pretty good for her. The thing is, her AI isn't the healer support type AI. Her AI is more built to move up front and attack and do damage. So because of that, if you do set her skill to cleric, her job skills to cleric, and you're using just light veil, dark veil, what will happen is, because of the way the dark and light veil range are, she will move up. She'll choose a target, move up. So then, when she's moving up, she's casting, and then it will go off to whoever she targets, which is fine. However, she moved up. Because she moved up, she's more inclined to get damage. And if you're not facing magic units, she might die pretty easily. Like, she has very good spirit for her, but her defenses are kind of low. So any physical, she can't take physical attacks too well. And another thing that makes it pretty hard for her to be on auto is the fact that the monk TP skills, chakra, purification, revive, and doom in this case, invisibility, I probably said that wrong, all are moves that you won't use in the beginning to set up. They're moves that are used later on. So her AI will use these moves if it's possible, if it's applicable, if it's meaningful. So for example, she'll use chakra if one of your teammates are low on HP, which helps a little bit. She will use revive if someone's knocked out, and there's no enemies around. And if there's an enemy that's weak to Doom, she cannot do any other attack, she will try to cast Doom on them. But because these TP moves are rarely used, it means that she's going to have a hard time building AP up. Because again, light veil, dark veil, she'll move up and use it, which is fine. That will give you 10 AP. But let's say you want monk subclass. There's no TP skills here. There's two more attacks. If you do knight subclass, all these are attacks that use up AP. The only thing she has for TP skill is divine heal, and that will only grant you 6 AP. And a lot of these moves aren't costly, but in this situation feels like they're costly. So the best way I utilized her was to give her bells. And if you want to put her in a PvP setting, like in class match, she has to use bells. She has to use bells. And once she starts using bells or AP generated equipment, that's when she starts to shine even more. Let's see. So night class, I think, is her better subclass to have when you're using bells, because then you have access to all these breaks, and having access to breaks in the battlefield really helps out. I could recommend cleric, but again, you want to use it on, if you want to try to go this route, you want to have a bigger field, and you have to give her a Trust Master that will help her generate TP if you can't use bells. I mean, not TP, AP. But that's the issue I ran with her. Her support skills are pretty good for a free unit. Like, she has access to Divine Protection, which I think that's more for PvE. If you want to increase her damage, she has Strike Mastery, and she has access to 2 HP up nodes. One that gets upgraded, the one that gives her more slash and pierce, and she has access to Spirit Up as well, which I think would be the it'd be better set up to have a Spirit Up or a Spirit Up and an HP and her home constitutions. But you can do double HP up, that's fine too. And then for her reaction ability, she has access to Fist Counter, Auto Cure, and Sword Guard. Because I want her to survive more, I leave Sword Guard on because it'll help reduce damage. Auto Cure is fine, but it's based on her magic stat, and she doesn't have a good magic stat. So I wouldn't go for that until we get some magic fist going or something. But even then, I'd rather just use Sword Guard instead. Her master ability currently gives her more movement and more jump, as well as raise her evasion. The thing about Etre is that I don't see her as a evading unit. She has some luck on her, but thanks to her level 120 access. However, even if you try to build her for evasion, she's not that great with the evasion. Not right now. Maybe down the road they might correct that. I'm not too sure. But she's overall like a balanced type unit. Like, she's all over the place. She doesn't excel in one thing, but she doesn't suck in one thing either. She's just all around. I see her more as a supporter than an attacker. However, she's not bad, but I honestly will say that if you get her to level 99, because her Trust Master is not bad for beginners. For beginners, her Trust Master is pretty good. However, after that, if you want to take her to past 100, I say just stop at 115, because 115, she's a great PvE unit. Like I said, her 120 skill is a nice PvP skill in my opinion, because Confusion / Berserk is not a combination you see too much, and it can really turn the tide of the battle. But other than that, I'll leave the rest of the videos up to you to decide. However, my verdict is don't take her to 120. But other than that, she's not a bad unit. I personally have a thing for her because I use her a lot. But I wanted to see how she is in arena, and hopefully the rest of the videos, you'll see how she is in arena, and you can decide for yourself. Okay, so this next match is against Minwu, I think that's how you pronounce her name, who's the latest selection quest unit, Rain and Mont, all fire team. The team I'm using, I'm trying to go against magic teams, or at the very least, at least 1 or 2 magic users on the team to see how it goes. So we start off with Zombie Rarity doing his Immortal Spirit, and then Etre here, she's gonna use Revitalize, so that way she could get her AP regeneration going. And because no one's near Venera is just gonna do her self buff of defense, penetration, and strike up. Now Mont is gonna move in and use his strike down attack which is kind of problematic because again, this team's built for magic, not for physical. But as you can see, Etre with her 4 move was able to move in and do a pummel to start breaking off the barrier. So what's good about the AI is that if there's a barrier, they will use chain moves to try to get rid of the barrier. And because Mont has a chain up, this limit break damage is going to do a lot of damage to Mont and will knock him out. And now it's only Minwu and Rain left. So now since Mont's no longer there, Rarity is going to go after Rain. And now we see Etre doing her 120 move onto Minwu, which causes confusion. So her casting has stopped. She was probably trying to revive Mont. If Mont was going to be revived, it might have been problematic. Maybe, maybe not. So now Minwu goes for attack on Etre, and Etre is confused now. So now we have 2 units who are confused. And Etre attacks Venera. Because the enemy and AI is confused, I believe they tweaked the AI so that it will no longer go after units who are confused and charmed, which is great because you want to fully utilize their confused state or their charmed state. However, if they're not near any other enemy, then they'll attack it. So Rain came here, finished off Venera, and Etre's still confused, so she's still doing some attacks onto Minwu. And Minwu is a pretty nice support unit healer that you get for free in the selection quest. I haven't gotten her just yet, but when I do, I'm planning on showcasing her in the future. So Ryu survived Rain's attack, and Minwu survived Etre's attack. As you can see, Etre's not a damage dealer, as I mentioned before. If she was, she would have been able to knock out Minwu right there, but she wasn't. So we build up, the battle's lasting long enough, and we build up our Esper gauge so Bahamut was summoned. And I believe it was gonna attack both units. Yep, enough to knock out Minwu. So now she's no longer a threat. Ryu goes down by Rain, so now it's just Rain and Etre. So what Etre does here? Etre does another Fist Frenzy. Doesn't cause any confusion of Berserk. And her Sword Guard here saved her. This is why I think that's a better reaction to have. And then she goes in for the kill. And a nice little crystal just to top her up. This is why I feel like Sword Guard is the better one to use. Alright, the next battle is against an old magic team. We have Valentines Salire, Yuna, and Helena, which in my honest opinion are one of the top magic dealers of the game right now. At least Helena and Salire. Yuna's up there too. She's pretty annoying as well. Like she doesn't want to die that easily. So we start off with our normal buffs: Courage, Revitalize. But because Salire is so close, Venera is going to use Taunting Spell instead of buffing. If it had Taunting Spell off, then she would most likely would have buffed instead.
This is going to hurt.
So now Yuna sets up the re-raise onto Salire. And Salire does her attack, which Venera took it pretty well. But Helena wasn't able to take a attack from Ryu that much, and she goes down pretty easy. So what's great about Etre's AI is that she will use Fist Frenzy often because that's one of her better moves to use. And if she got the Confusion Berserk, it would have helped the battle a lot here. But she didn't, which is fine, and the team was able to take her magic attack right back. So here, I did not turn off any of the knight skills because their magic stat is the higher stat. The AI chose magic break to use instead of like attack break or something, and I'm pretty sure the other breaks would have done similar damage. So having it use magic break here was a big plus. And because Yuna moved closer, she put herself in range to have Fist Frenzy do both damage to both of them, and then both just goes down. But yeah, that was a pretty good match there. Like I said, this team does well against magic users. Alright, final match for this video. We have Helena, Yuna, and Warrior of Light. Let's see if this Helena Yuna combo is a bit better than the last one. And but yeah, pretty much the team works pretty well. The fact that it's a mono Earth team works well as also, and Christmas Venera is a Peach's Peach's main job. So her having Earth Fist attacks while Etre has Earth Fist attacks just works pretty well. Like I said, she can work in PvP, but it's hard to use her in other teams. I'm gonna try to see if maybe I could use her in not Earth teams to see how well she Etre can do. But I feel like this is where she shines the most in a mono Earth team. So as you can see, Helena did her limit break, and Etre took it pretty well. So now Etre did her pummel to try to get rid of the barrier, which sets up Venera to do an attack to knock it out. But Helena has re-raise, and now Yuna's gonna heal up Helena up to full and kind of screw there. So Halloween Raryu's dealing with Warrior Light, and now we're taking another attack from Helena, and Etre goes down. Rarity finally deals Warrior Light in, so now it's Venera holding off 2 magic units until Rarity comes to save the day. Venera takes this attack pretty well, and she takes this pretty well also, surviving by just a little bit. And it's taking Rarity kind of a while to get there, but Venera's not fast enough to get a turn, so she goes down. And now it's Rarity versus 2 magic users. Because he put up Sentinel last turn, he was able to take that hit pretty well and deliver a powerful hit right back. Now it's just Yuna versus Rarity. Yuna's gonna full life Helena, so this is the second time she comes back to life. But now it's Rarity's turn, and Rarity's gonna Spell Breacher and knock her back down. And now it's back 1-1, but Yuna has casting time on her abilities. Courage procs, and casting time is her downfall, and she goes down. And I was able to win that one. Finally, this is the team I use for the battles you saw in today's video. I'm just gonna run them down real quick. Again, the team's built to go against magic enemies. We have Venera here with the Peach's main job. I have pretty much all her stuff turned on, except for Iron Body Defense, Iron Body Stance. I turned that off. And for her Spell Blade, I turned off Resistance Magic. I left Taunting Blade on, and I left Magic Barrier on because I wanted her to use Magic Barrier. I didn't want her going off to the side to use Resistant Magic. I turned off Stone Blade, left Bile Blade on because Bile Blade is not bad for when you're facing other tanks. But Resistant Magic is better on a larger map, but on a smaller map you want to turn that off because she'll go off to the side to do the buff, and you kind of want her moving forward. She's with Ironclad support for more HP, attack, defense, piercing, and providence of lightning for more magic attack resistance, lightning resistance, and magic guard to try to take more magic hits. And here are her stats. As you can see, 69% in magic resistance, some slash resistance, and 32 in lightning. But we didn't see any lightning. And 41 spirit. Etre here. She was under monk and knight job. I didn't really turn off any moves because I wanted to see how her AI would work with all of them on, and she did pretty well. The only move I did turn off was in her night skill, which was divine healing, because I feel like that's useless. I don't think that's gonna work for anything. She has a spirit up support and her max / pierce resistance support, and is with sword guard, which again I think is the better one to use out of all her supports. Her stats look like this with all the equipment: 35 magic resistance, 30 pierce resistance. I did face some Oberons, and she took those attack pretty okay, but because I was more focused on spirit than defense, she still went down within either 1 shot or 2 shot, depending if sword guard activated or not. So if you're gonna try to go against Oberon with Etre, I just say you better use someone else than that Etre. And then finally, Ryu. Let's see. Like, I have some moves on. Like, I turned off Stonga Blade. I have Hazard Disruption on because I wanted to see how well his AI used it, and he used it pretty well. Turn off that and that because he doesn't need it. Drain Evocation, he uses it a lot, so I would say have that on. And Spell Breacher was his 120 skill that breaks barriers. He will use that often. For Paladin, because he's not tanking in this map, I turned off Taunting Blade so that he wouldn't take away aggro from Venera. But I left Sentinel on because Sentinel is a pretty good move in my opinion to have. The Divine Grace sucks, so it's off. Immortal Spirit always on. And Saintly Healing utilizes the magic stat, so for Ryu you want to have that on. You didn't see it in these videos, but if he has no other unit to attack, he will use that and he will heal a good amount based on his magic stat. And then I left Blade Bash on just in case, a random stun will change the battle. Magic up for more magic. Sharpened Sight for some accuracy, defense, spirit, pierce rate. Like, he's a good bruiser overall. He didn't I didn't build him too much for spirit, but his stats, he has 50% magic resistance, so it was good enough. And again, Sentinel really helps him out. So if I did add some more spirit to him, then he would have been good. The cards, the party ability, we do it like this. This is better. Everyone's holding Earth cards for the most part. The Halloween card was good for the agility and the spirit up, and then Noctis's card that's being that you could pull right now as this video was recorded helps with magic attack resistance up. So if you use both the Halloween card and Noctis's card, you'll have a pretty good team that could go up against magic users. Especially since Noctis himself is good at taking magic attacks. I feel like this two combination really helps with defenses. And the attack up helps both Etre and Venera do more damage. And I decided to add Dreams of Heroism, so that way I could get some area attack resistance and more HP as well. The TP up didn't really matter in this case, but TP up would be great for any earth healers you want to use on your team. And that's pretty much it for the team. I hope you liked the video. If you do, let me know. I'm going to try to do more of these in the future. Alright, laters.